I'm Sumeet Vermani, founder and CMO of SKV Consulting, and I work predominantly with CEOs, CMOs, investors, and boards to drive digital marketing transformation for an AI world. My role is to work closely with startup scale-ups and large enterprises to formulate what their marketing strategies are, what their go-to-market strategy will be, and sort of to be future flexible in their design so that they are able to be set for sort of the trends that are coming in the future and are sort of well set from a commercial standpoint, but equally from a kind of marketing standpoint. So my key responsibilities lay with sort of liaising with board members and senior leadership, training and enablement, as well as then formulating strategy and education across sort of senior leadership teams as well as marketing teams more generally on the ground. I help them and equip them with the tools to be successful, and I'm there to be a thought leader to take them on that journey. It takes a very different sort of type of relationship and a different type of engagement. So that conversation is definitely much more strategic. It's much more focused on sort of the outlook for the business when it comes to the market, really looking at macroeconomic conditions alongside the micro elements of the business, and really being able to provide a board with a future-focused view of pipeline, of revenue, and potentially where the customer and the market are going, so that they can best assess sort of how well a C-suite is doing versus kind of on the day-to-day marketing teams who are executing on the ground. They do need to have that view of the customer, but it's a much more granular, micro level versus the conversation I have with boards. I've faced many challenges. I think any marketeer that says they haven't faced a challenge hasn't been a marketeer. That has been from trying to validate whether marketing is an appropriate use of resource, getting the right budget, hiring the right teams. I think I've faced it all. I think I'd say the biggest challenge I've faced is justifying marketing, and so really ensuring that companies and organizations have a high level of marketing IQ. So often marketeers can get in a silo and they can kind of talk really well amongst themselves, but ultimately, we have to manage an internal customer base. I often position marketing as being able to essentially approach their organization as if they are going to market. Your ideal customer profile. It's your CFO, it's your CTO, it's your sales teams. How are you going to regularly be communicating, engaging, and sharing your results so that they're bringing them on the journey? So I'd say that the biggest challenge that I've faced is to overcome sort of an education barrier and a knowledge gap. I would say less a talent shortage and more a talent skill. There is a need for reskilling and upskilling a lot of teams. We're in a world where marketing is no longer sort of digital marketing. Every marketer has to have some facet of digital. In an AI world, there is a level of kind of, IQ that you need to have when it comes to digital. So I think the digital skill gap is an area that I think is a big challenge. Talent-wise, I would say pipelining in younger talent, and so people who haven't come from more traditional backgrounds when it comes to B2B marketing is a real challenge. I think diversity in our industry is a massive sort of gap at the moment, and I would say that one of the biggest opportunities is to start to build in a more reverse mentoring mindset. Yeah, so look, I engage quite heavily in lots of events that are focused much more with an audience that's Gen Z. So today is very much about CMOs and marketing leaders. I try and operate and engage in audiences and groups that are less in my wheelhouse of day to day to really better understand sort of their challenge. I think one of the biggest challenges we have is intergenerational management, and so leadership in it, leading and managing intergenerational teams. People who've just come into the workforce have a very different perspective of work, of marketing, and their role in that versus those that have been in organizations for many years. And so that can be a big tension point. AI. So I'm heavily deep focused on AI at the moment. I think that marketing needs to go through a regeneration. I fundamentally believe that we need to relook at what marketing is, what we do, sort of how we do it, and fundamentally challenge ourselves to do it differently. I talk about sort of digital transformation, going through a digital transformation. Marketing needs to go through a transformation. It has needed to for a number of years, but we are now faced by external forces that will force us to really look at everything that we do. Can we be more efficient? Can we be, closer to the customer? Can we be more insightful? Can we be more technology driven? And can we be more ROI driven using AI? And does that need the same resource? Do we need a different type of resource? And do we need to design a completely different type of function? Heavily focused in the AI space. So I work with a lot of startups trying and playing with their tools. I think there's fascinating opportunities. Marketeers really have to get their arms around the idea of what is the language of AI. If you don't know what a prompt is, if you don't know what a language model is, if you don't know what a plugin is, you need to get on board pretty quickly because that is the new language of the world. Venue, fantastic audience, a great community. I've been a part of this community for many years, and so the venue is fantastic and historic, iconic, and some of the best marketing leaders are iconic in their space, and so it's an amazing sort of experience to be here. Looking forward to the fantastic content ahead, and some of the content I have heard thus far has been really insightful and given me lots of food for thought, and I can't wait for the rest of the day.